You do not want to start giving out parental histories that is not necessary. You just want to hit it on the head and make it simple and short. My name is Star Mpama. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you. Please do well to subscribe, like, and share. And if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting. So without wasting so much of your time, let me dive into the topic for the day. From my subsequent video, I talked about things you should consider as a student athlete when coming over here to the United States. And I stated that I was going to throw more light on how to respond to coaches and how to reach out to these schools here in the United States when you want to come over. And I will start with your responses to the coaches and how you reach out to them. First and foremost, when a coach reaches out to you as an athlete, it means that you are doing well. Yes, it means you are noticed. And you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coaches in your DM. And you might be interested in a particular school and you feel, well, I am already in conversation with a particular coach. There is no need speaking to other coaches. No, that's wrong. As a matter of fact, that's insulting. Because somebody took his or her time to reach out to you because of what you do. And even if you do not intend to go to that particular program, you can just be polite enough to say, thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate, but I have a program I am already signed with. That is if you are signed with a program already. But my personal advice would be, if you're not signed with any program at that point in time, just keep conversing with them. Get to know the coach, get to know the school, get to understand the environment, how their training facilities, how their training program works. You can request for a link for a virtual tour in the school. Getting to know where you're going to, that is, if at the end of the day you would want to head to that place. And also understanding what they have to offer to you as a student coming in on sports scholarship. You do not want to let these people be, and at the end of the day you're left with no options on your table, because unforeseen circumstances can happen. You can be in conversation with a particular coach and something can just come up and the coach tells you, I'm sorry we cannot have you, I'm sorry we do not have enough funds for your scholarship this section this year or something. And at the end of the day you look back and realize that the other coaches that have been reaching out to you, you never responded to them and they are gone. And who knows, you might get injured along the line. Something might happen. Nobody's praying for anything bad. But you just want to make sure that when these coaches reaches out to you, you want to sound as polite as possible. And at the same time, you want to be direct. You do not want to come and start going back and forth with family histories when you're having conversations with these international coaches. It's not necessary. You don't want to start talking about what they don't need to know at that point in time. Why they reached out to you is because of the talent they see in you. It's because of how good you are at what you do. So that is what you want to sell. Already it's been sold and they've seen it, but they just want to be sure that these athletes they have reached out to is who he or she is from what the world sees. And now, as an athlete who has interest of coming into the United States, you want to mind the things you post on your social media. You don't want to go out there flaunting yourself as somebody who cannot be coachable. Because it's one thing to be an amazing athlete, it's another thing to be a coachable athlete. These things are things that these coaches look out for when recruiting an international student over here in the United States. So you want to be sure that you have a good career as an athlete, and also you have a good behavior as an athlete and as a person too, and you're coachable. So all of these things matters. You don't want to go out there and give them a wrong impression about you and your personality. Now, when you have signed with a particular program, yes, you would still have coaches reach out to you. When you have signed with a particular program, you can just politely tell them, I have signed with this program. You can start with, you have a wonderful program. I would have loved to be there, but unfortunately I have signed with some other program and I am happy with where I am. And it's that simple and short. You leave a good name behind and a good perception about yourself. That way you responded to the coach, and at the same time you give a good impression about who you are as a person. But having them hung in there in your DM, not responding to them, just reading their messages and letting it be, it doesn't say good about you at all. Now, when you as an athlete is reaching out to these coaches, you do not want to go out there and start giving them the history they are not looking out for. First and foremost, when you reach out to a coach, the only thing you just need to do is put down your name of your country, your age, your event, personal best, and tell them you're interested in their program. Looking forward to a favorable response. That's enough. That alone tells everything they want to know. It is now left for the coach to get back to you if he or she is interested in you as an athlete. And trust me, when they see this mail, the first thing they do is they put down your name on Google to check if you have a World Athletics profile. If you don't, there must be something that shows that this person is an athlete and this is how far he or she has gone, these are the times he or she has run, and these things this athlete has said to me is actually true. Now, some of them would respond, some might not. Those that don't respond, you don't need to be offended about it. People might be busy, you can't tell. And the best way to reach out to these coaches are via their email. Going to their DM on social media, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't respond, but the white people do better with emails compared to social media handles. Now, the question would be, how do I get their mail? Well, over here in America, it makes it, the whites makes communication pretty easy, which is whichever school you want to go to, just Google it up. This particular school, head coach for this particular school, you would find out that there are names listed, positions listed, emails attached to those positions, and also phone numbers. That way you send a mail to their email address, and it just makes it easy. But at the same time, it's not bad when you send the mail and still drop a message in their DM rather. That's if you have their social media handle. That also helps. Then now, when you as an athlete are also trying to reach out to these people, even when they do not respond, like I mentioned in my last video, you want to make sure that you have what you do on your social media handle for the world to see you, because you do not know who's going to come across your page, and that also helps. Then another thing that helps international students or makes it easier for you to assess these people here in the United States is through agencies. There are agencies that what they do is they recruit these athletes from their country and showcase them to different schools here in the United States, and coaches get to see you, coaches get to understand that there are some persons who have ran fast but have not gotten the opportunity to represent their country. The fact that you have not won your country color doesn't mean you're not an amazing athlete. It might just be that the opportunity hasn't gotten to you yet, which doesn't mean that it wouldn't, but it would, probably not at that point in time. So these agencies just put you out there so that the world can see you and see how amazing and talented you are as an athlete. And working with these agencies, there are some funds attached to it. But come to think of it, when you're working on your own, you pay your NCA fee, right? You pay your service fee, you pay your visa fee, you pay your agent fee. All of this that I have mentioned is still the same thing these agencies will require of you. So some agencies charge you before the process begins. Some agencies charge you after the process is done. It just depends on the particular agency you're working with. That way, they make your process even easier for you as an athlete. Those things that might be a challenge for you, especially athletes coming from African countries where finance tend to be a high level of challenge, it makes it pretty easy. And all of those stress of how to answer this and how to answer that. Some agencies goes as far as having managers assigned to each athlete to help them do what they need to do. So basically, it's really an easy process if you know and understand how to go about it. Now, to summarize everything, when you reach out to a coach, please make your message short and precise. Best way to reach out to coaches via emails. When a coach reaches out to you via your DM, ensure that you do well to respond to them and be as straightforward as you can be as polite as you can be, and at the same time, do not go around beating around the bush. It's not necessary. As for agencies, they would help your process work even faster and better. The only thing is you just need to understand how the contract works. Well, this is what I have for you today. Until next time, be good, stay safe, and bye for now. Thank you.